Hello and welcome to Nug and Cymek review DC Comics, the new 52, where every week Nug and I review every single one of the new DC titles. I'm Andrew Cymek.
And I'm Nug, and we had 16 comics to read this week.
Very long week.
A long week, but a pretty good week. So let's just dive right in. Let's get things started with The Shade, the miniseries. This month, the artwork is done by Darwin Cook, and Jay Bone is doing the inking. Yeah. Two of my favorites.
It's a flashback story for The Shade. So bringing in Darwin Cook, who, as you guys might know, did New Frontier. Great choice.
Yeah.
I love Darwin Cook. Kind of wish the entire series was like this. To be totally honest,
I would read this whole series if this was it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good one-off. I
mean,
it does deal with what The Shade is dealing with in present time. But reading this book as a separate, just a separate story, really nice, and if you're a fan of Darwin Cook, pick it up.
Up next, Demon Knights. Last month, I remember us getting all excited because we finally figured out that Demon Knights and Damon Knights might be the same thing. So Demon Knights this month, continuing the story. Really neat story idea where they take the bad guys and kind of magically split them up and then tempt everyone to leave the rebellion, I guess.
Well, I wouldn't say this is the calm before the eventual storm that is going to, we're having the two factions kind of join together. But it does serve as a kind of breather between that, but in a good way because, like Nug said, they're offering them deals. Not going to spoil it for you, but once again, Vandal Savage proves to be my favorite character.
Vandal Savage is the best.
Demon Knights is another pickup for us.
An excellent book and well thought out by Cornell. I'm really excited to see how this connects to Stormwatch and how that connects to, I guess, Grifter and the Demon Knights and some of the other books.
And I will say this: Horsewoman is amazing.
Yeah.
There's an art panel in it. There's an action panel with her that I thought was really cool and really great.
It's a great book. Pick it up. Up next, Resurrection Man, a book that has been slowly... I enjoy Resurrection Man, but for you, it's been slowly getting better and better and better.
Yeah, I mean, as I'm kind of on board this with, like, the journey. It's like hook, line, and sinker here. And this issue, for me, I think it's the best issue. There's not a lot with the knockouts.
And not a lot with Mitch because he's dead.
Yeah, but, I mean, they go... Again, this is a flashback issue. And I really enjoyed seeing Mitch Shelley in the past. He's not what I thought he was going to be, but I did enjoy it. And you kind of see the creation of the knockouts, or one of the knockouts as well.
And it continues that battle between heaven and hell for Mitch Shelley's soul.
I'm a big fan of this issue. This is actually one of my top books this week.
For sure. It's an excellent book, and if you're not reading Resurrection Man, pick it up. Frankenstein and the Agents of Shade. The flip side to the coin we read last week where Omac and Frankenstein fought. Now we get to see it from Frankenstein's point of view. Yeah. Jeff Lemire and Dan Didio share writing duties on both issues, and we get to see it all from Frankenstein's point of view.
This issue of Frankenstein is amazing. You see exactly what Father Time's plan is when it comes to Brother Eye. There's some great comparisons and stuff with Brother Eye and Father Time. I mean, and you get more of the battle between Frank and Omac.
And for a big nerd like me, who's been on the DC bandwagon his whole life, to see Ray Palmer in action, so to speak, in this book is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, again, I always love Ray Palmer.
Yeah.
As the Atom. But they're utilizing him in a way in this book that is ultra cool.
It's very, very cool. Frankenstein's a definite pickup for me. And how's the artwork this month? It's always something with you.
It is. It looks much cleaner this week. So, I mean, maybe we have something to do with that. Is that very egotistical of us to say that we have something to do with the cleanliness of this art?
I don't know. I think maybe we're tired and our vision has adjusted to the artwork.
So tired.
So tired. All right, up next, Suicide Squad. Hey, you know what I haven't liked about Suicide Squad, really? Harley Quinn. And you know who's not in this issue? Harley Quinn, and it's fun. It's a fun book.
The Harley Quinn character was the one character that I had an issue with. She's not in this issue. The book reads very well. Again, we mentioned it last month where There's always a betrayal. There's always
Every book, every time, if you set up Suicide Squad to have somebody turn and somebody get killed and you know that's going to happen every issue, it's not a surprise anymore.
right. So I mean, I'm going to be surprised when everyone gets out of the issue, I guess.
And you know what? There's a character that buys it in this issue. Huge spoiler, guys. Someone dies on Suicide Squad. But I liked that character.
I did too.
They've only been around for, as is the case with many of these characters, there's only a couple that have been around for more than 2 issues.
Yeah.
But I actually liked that character.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually sad to see him go because I felt like the character had potential.
Yes.
Having said that, Diablo has some great moments in this book in particular, and Floyd the Deadshot also has some good character moments. Again, I miss my Amanda Waller.
I don't know about this Waller.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Suicide Squad is a pickup, but I did enjoy this week's book.
Oh, and hey, and then it ends with, it looks like Harley's gone AWOL to go look for the Joker who may be dead. And now the rest of Suicide Squad is going after her for the next however many issues.
Yes.
So that thing we loved about this issue was her not being in it, and now it looks like she'll be the focus of the story for the next few issues going forward.
Can't wait.
You're wrong. Up next, Deathstroke. Hey, Return of Legacy. 5 issues in, and we already have a bad guy coming back.
He's a legacy character, though.
Oh my...
That's the whole point. He comes back
He's
better.
the best. Oh, man. Remember all the times they fought? And now we get to see them fight for the 2nd time? Ugh. Deathstroke, we finally found out what's in the briefcase. It was a huge letdown, was what was in the briefcase. And now we get to see him looking for his son. The end, I guess. Some action.
You know what? I didn't mind this issue as much as you did. I still like what they're doing with. There's something wrong with Deathstroke.
Yes.
He's getting older. Looking back at the past. I like so much of this book, but it just feels like something's not hitting right.
It feels to me like it's coasting.
Yes.
Like, it almost seems like as if they're coasting on something that happened, and none of us know what that thing is.
Yes.
And they're relying on the fact that it's like, we're all cool, guys, that's Deathstroke, you know that thing that happened, and we're just going to ride it out. We don't know that thing that happened, and this coast, it's not great, it's not terrible, it's just coasting.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed that in some of the books that maybe weren't prepared for the relaunch.
Understood.
You know, it seems like it was thrown together maybe too quickly. Let's write a Deathstroke book. I've got an idea, but maybe it wasn't fully fleshed out.
Do you think that's why all these writing teams are changing?
I think it might be. And unfortunately, like, I love the character of Deathstroke, and I really liked the voice and the character of him in the first couple of issues of that cantankerous old man with the youth, and that's kind of gone away a bit.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like in this issue, but I still don't know if Deathstroke's a pickup, and I have to spoil it for you guys. If you want to see Deathstroke versus a submarine,
then pick up this book, I guess. Up next, Grifter. Hey, remember my New Year's resolution, how it went out the window right away?
yeah,
Grifter's going to tie in with Stormwatch. It looks like it's already tying in sort of with Demon Knights.
and Superman.
And Superman. And it's a whole lot of no good. Really did not enjoy this. Still don't enjoy Grifter. Tried real hard. Read all the other Grifters to get ready for this, to try and give it that second chance that I said I would. It's not doing it for me.
Well, that's good of you to go back and read all.
I did. I forced myself to read those books, and I tried, like, really did. That's how, like, you were asking me questions, and I could answer them about this.
Yeah, I mean,
One thing that is cool, I guess, in the book is that when these Demonites finally shoot laser beams, they turn red instead of blue.
yeah.
Neat.
I haven't liked Grifter pretty much throughout the entire relaunch. I haven't gotten the appeal of the character specifically. I just think that this is another issue where there's a lot of concepts being thrown around, and I actually like this idea of the Damonites invasion.
I do too, and I like how they were going to try and get their way into Q-Core to integrate our technology with theirs.
Yeah, I mean, all these concepts, I like the concepts. It's
But they don't really...
It's the execution of
They don't stick around long enough on one for us to get a better handle on it.
Exactly. I think that's the problem, is that they're not fully flushing out the idea and milking it to be the best it can be. It's kind of like, here's a concept, and then maybe it's the ADD generation where it's like, and now we're going to show you this, and now we're going to show you this, but I just want the character to be fleshed out better.
Do you think that it's Grifter's relying on people knowing Grifter from the Wildstorm universe? I don't know how, because I don't know anything about him, and I wonder if I had a better knowledge of Grifter from before the reboot.
Yeah.
If that would help me understand what's happening in this book.
I think it wouldn't hurt.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. I do not think there's enough in this book to get you on board this title. That's my opinion.
Why am I on board with Voodoo? And it's not because of the drawing of a sexy girl. I'm saying I'm on board with the character. Oh, that's why you're on board with it?
That's why I'm on board.
Because I'm on board with it because I get that she might be half Damonite and half something else.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Voodoo, the pacing of the story is like a B movie where they're slowly integrating. Like, if you look at issue 1 of Voodoo, they introduce the character of Voodoo and the team.
And the shape-shifting at the very end.
And really, that's all we learn.
Yeah.
Is that she's a shapeshifter, and there's these 2 FBI agents. And the rest is character development.
Right.
And then number 2, you get, she's now on the run.
Right.
And you start to get the new, it's a way of storytelling that it's slowly luring you into into what's going on. Whereas Grifter, it's like, it's all action, and you're going from, these great action set pieces of him coming out of an airplane, then there's cars being thrown and helicopters, and you're going from, and then you're fighting Green Arrow in one issue.
Come on, and then like issue 3, your brother dies, and we barely just met him.
Right. Like, wouldn't that have been something that, let's spend 3 issues on his brother and then actually make it mean something?
Or maybe kill him in issue 8 or 9 after we've seen him a couple times.
Or kill him off in issue 1 and set that as the reason why Grifter is on this quest. But it just seems like a mishmash of different things happening without a proper build. And I think that's what Grifter's missing.
All right. Well, maybe when it ties into Stormwatch and Voodoo and Superman and all these other things, maybe it'll do something. Up next, it's a mini-series called The Ray. Last month, I went bananas for this book. I think you did as well.
I did. I loved it.
Issue 2 comes out, and guess what? Excellent book!
The Ray is a very fun read. We mentioned it last month with Ray number 1. We've also noticed that the sales of The Ray haven't been that good in the numbers, which is a shame. Go out, pick up Ray number 1 and Ray number 2. This is a great, fun book, and I almost feel like this is what a lot of the books that that are not miniseries should be like. For example, Static Shock.
Yes.
Grifter, we were just mentioning
it.
2 issues in, the Ray is now a much more developed character.
And he knows more of what he's doing with his powers, and he's dealing with it with his personal life and his hero life.
Right. There is more in 2 issues of Ray than there is
in 5 issues of Grifter.
Yeah.
In 5 issues of Static Shock.
Right. And that's not to say more things don't happen in those. But the Ray...
Are you kidding? There's 400 villains in Static Shock.
Exactly. But the Ray knows how to draw in an audience.
It's almost like we're drawn to him like moths to a flame.
Yeah.
Like bugs to a very bright light.
Yeah.
All right, up next, Legion Lost. A book that is getting better and better and better and better every issue. And 5 comes out, and... Andrew?
Hey, I'm not a Legion fan. You guys have heard it from me every week, every month that these books come out. I'm not a Legion fan. Without a doubt, Legion Lost is the best Legion book out there right now, and I think by far. And I think that the other thing, the reason why I reread the entire arc is because you get a full sense of what the writer wants to do. And having read this issue, again, you go back and read issue 1 through 5, I can see what he's doing with the story, and it's a great story. I'm now on board this. Unfortunately, they're changing creative teams again.
But I don't think that's going to change what the whole concept
not.
of the book is. It's kids from the future with superpowers that are well-known, but now they're stranded here.
Yeah.
And if that happens, if there's suddenly a new team of superheroes running loose on Earth, someone's going to notice.
Yeah.
And someone notices on the last page.
And I love it. I mean...
It's perfect!
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spoil it for you, but there is an appearance by a contemporary hero that appears in this book. And it's not tacked on. It's, again, his appearance is perfect. But Legion Lost, on its own, is a great book. And it's told from the POV of Tellus, the telepath.
Who might not be the Legionnaire that a lot of people know.
No. But it's still amazing. It's a fun read. It's action-packed. And I'm crazy to say, but Legion Lost is a pickup.
It's a very good book this week. All right, up next, this guy, Superboy. A book that I think should be renamed. Because I still don't get or know who that guy is. But I really do care about every other character in this book.
Yeah, I mean, you know what my New Year's resolution is.
I know you were going to give all the super books another shot.
Yes, and out of all of the super books, aside from Action Comics,
This is yours.
I thought that this one was the best, and this issue continues to be great. I actually really like Lobdell's writing of the Gen 13 characters and what's coming with that. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of mystery there. I really like what he's doing. I agree with you, though, that it's not necessarily a Superboy book on its own.
But this is what I don't get. If I like all the other characters in Superboy,
Right.
and Superboy's going to be on Teen Titans, why are we having two teen books? Is Superboy just going to move over to Teen Titans and
Right.
then Superboy's book is going to become the Gen 13 book?
Well, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but Lobdell's definitely placing little hints at where he's going in the Superboy books. But Lobdell's hinting at a lot of places that Superboy will be going as well. And I think that it's a good move, that moving away from maybe Superboy's creation and more in terms of what he's going to be facing with, I kind of am excited.
Let's
about what's
move
to
it
come.
on then. If we're getting excited about where it's going, let's get there already.
I'm on
'Cause
board.
I don't care where it is. I want to know where it's going. All right, Mr. Terrific. A book that I got very upset with last month because the artist doesn't know how to draw a T on the face of Mr. Terrific here. And the cover, no problem. There's a T on his face. The inside is, again, an oval with a couple of pie wedges cut out of it. Not a T. And Mr. Terrific, still in the fifth dimension, dealing with crazy alien characters. This is no spoiler, because you guys aren't going to read this book. There's a hermaphrodite alien who has crazy powers, and he helps her find out who she is and deal with her true self. And then he goes, well, I should do that too. Murr. And then he goes back to Earth and goes, here I am. And that's the end of the book. It is just, there's action, but it's boring action.
And you know what's funny is I wasn't minding the issue until he convinces the hermaphrodite alien to use her superpower to not be a victim, and I felt it just rang so hollow.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like this is the big lesson that Mr. Terrific is going to expel on this child who's a weapon. And all I kept thinking was, this is the smartest man alive, or the third smartest man alive. And he is using this girl as a weapon. He is saying exactly what she needs to hear so that he can benefit from the fact that she has incredible powers.
Super smart, right? That's what a genius does, right?
And I thought, okay, well, if the third smartest man is going to at least acknowledge the fact that he took advantage of it, and knowing that maybe he kind of swayed the odds in his favor, at least there's a certain character he's a little dark, you know? He's a little like, oh, he went there. He actually crossed that line of maybe a hero and took advantage of someone to get out of the situation. Instead, we just get it like, no, he authentically was telling this woman that it would be in her best interest to become a weapon and wipe out the other bad guys.
You know, I know you've been used your whole life. I know that people have thrown you away and used you for their own benefits, but I'm telling you right now, the thing you have to do is let me use you for my own benefit, and that will help you become the person you're supposed to be.
Exactly.
Third smartest man in the world.
Brilliant.
Ugh. Up next, My Greatest Adventure, a book that I still have no idea why this book is still being published. I enjoy the Robot Man story, although in this Robot Man story he just lays around. he reminisces. Body's trying to build it back up. I like the picture of his nanobots trying to stop the virus nanobots. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah. But it is very much Inspector Gadget for me. He's like he's got everything inside him, and he can change his shape and blah, 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 blah. Garbage Man is, once again...
I'm not going to say it.
I'll say it. Garbage Man.
Anyways, we get a little bit of backstory on Robot Man. Garbage Man fights a dinosaur, and Tanga goes through an alien's small intestine. So if that's your thing, go pick up My Greatest Adventure. If it's not...
Oh, what if it's not my thing?
Then just skip it.
Okay. Getting into the good stuff here, Green Lantern, continuing a great story with Sinestro on Korrigar, and a whole bunch of deputized lanterns gonna go beat Sinestro up. If you saw the previews, you know Sinestro would never allow that to happen. I'm so sorry. He's not dumb. And then he shows how smart he is, using his lantern. Hal gets a ring and then gets, after the adventure, dumped back on Earth.
Yeah.
And Hal actually sounds a little like an Orange Lantern at one point, for me. Gotta get that ring back.
Unlike Aquaman, which I thought ended a little too abruptly and left me wanting more, I think this is a good closure for this first arc.
For the first arc.
I really like the Sinestro character all the way through. Johns has a great way of hinting at stuff to come, as well as hinting as what's come before that we don't know about yet, especially with the Sinestro character. Once again, the art in this book is top-notch, and I really liked it. Green Lantern, again, a pickup.
A very good book. All right, Batgirl, getting into the first of the Bat books this one. The last book closed that arc with the Mirror,
yep.
And now we get a new villain named Gretel, who seems to be ever-changing, seems to be getting off on causing trouble in a certain way.
Yes.
Some sort of weird mind power where people yell 338 all the time.
Yes.
And this particular book opens with a shot of Batgirl's crotch in an upside-down position.
I opened it up, I saw the previews online first, but I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's,
It's an odd shot to open your book with. Hey, she's acrobatic, I know. Hey, don't get me wrong.
Wow.
Every Bat book has somebody in some weird position flying through the air on a rope. And we get it. It's just a very odd thing to open the book and see first. What'd you think of the story?
I didn't like it.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Like I said, I thought that after the first arc was over, that I'd be like, okay, let's have some fun with this, and they ended with the teaser that Barbara's mother has now come back to visit her. I'd like to say that that's the most interesting part of this issue because of how Barbara deals with it. I wasn't expecting her reaction to it.
Yep.
But overall, I think the ending was very predictable in what was happening.
Yep.
Man, I miss Stephanie. I miss Cassie. I miss
Oracle.
I miss Oracle. And yeah, I'm really struggling with the voice of this character of Batgirl. I want to like this book so badly.
Me too.
I'm just not feeling Batgirl.
Up next, Batwoman.
And here is the flip side of the coin, where the voice of Batwoman is bang on. She is a great, very different character than the other Bat books. And the art, once again, the art in this book is just absolutely amazing. We get an appearance of Batman here, which I think is great. It's used very well, which is just kind of a reminder that Batwoman still exists in Batman's world.
But she exists in a different part of it.
Yes.
Different corner of Batman's world. And a corner that I don't think Batman sees very often.
Right.
I don't think Batgirl sees. I don't think Nightwing sees. I don't think Robin sees it. Oh, let's keep going. I don't think the Birds of Prey see it. I don't see detectives seeing it, or the Dark. There's millions of Bat books.
That's why this book is great.
It's a very different Bat book, and that's why I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Even though this is the closing of that arc, I believe, and we're kind of jumping onto something else, there's a lot of threads that are still going to weave their way through Batwoman is an amazing book.
And I will say for sure that of DC Universe's characters, other than Red Tornado and a couple of others, like in my top 10 favorite characters of all time, Mr. Bones is in there. And Mr. Bones shows up in Batwoman, so I will be reading Batwoman for a while.
Just another reason to pick up this book.
Absolutely. And look at this, Batman and Robin, a book that we're enjoying.
I'm loving this book. With Scott Snyder's Batman and Tomasi's Batman and Robin, I think those are the two top Batman books. This continues to show Damian's descent into darkness.
Well, it does, and I know you've called it like this father and son story,
Yeah.
But what I love about it is, honestly, the only thing that I think I know about being a dad is what I've learned from my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce never had that chance.
It's true.
Right? He only got up to 9 or however old he was when the family was killed. So Bruce is trying to learn how to be a father to this psychopathic murderer Damian kid, but doesn't know how to do it, and he's losing him.
Yeah, and he
Or
knows,
so it seems.
and he knows he's
And
losing.
he knows he's losing.
And that's the thing. And the other thing with Damian is that for his age, he's already surpassed what Bruce was at that age.
Oh, man.
So it's terrifying, and you feel Bruce's actual fear for Damian. I mean, he's kind of going on a rampage trying to find him after Damian makes the choice to go with nobody, and you feel the despair that this, where this could actually go. And what I also liked is we actually get some flashbacks over who nobody is and their actual connection with Bruce, which is also very nice. So again, with Tomasi and Gleason, this remains a great book, and I cannot wait for next month's issue.
I really like his helmet. I don't know what function his weird spider-looking helmet has, but I like it.
And there's a great line where he cuts off Damian's cape and says, like, enough of the theatrics. We're not here for
you're not a human target. I think you're not a decoy.
Great book.
It's a perfect line. All right, now it's time for Red Tornado Watch. There's no Red Tornado in this book, and for those of you who have already said on the comments of this video, give it up, Nug. Do you really think he's going to show up? Yes, I do, and no, I won't give it up. He's showing up. All right, time for our books. As always,
I actually have something for you. I visited my friend Kevin over the weekend, and he watches our show every week, and he was feeling bad that you don't have a Red Tornado yet. So he went into his stack of toys and actually found the old Superpower Red Tornado with tornado action.
With tornado kick?
With
like with
the
his
kick.
leg kicks, we
And
squeeze him.
he wanted me to present that to you today.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Look at him go.
Now it's time for our books of the week, and every week Nug and I pick 6, just for the hell of it.
Because everybody else picks 5.
That's right. And I think we're going to agree again on most of our books of the week.
This is going to be tough this week. We might have to go 8, and I'm not kidding. Yeah.
Have you picked your book of the week yet?
No. The only one that's not in there that might be is that.
I would put it in.
Okay. So how many you got in that pile?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books in the pile.
There are 8 books in the pile, although one of them is a miniseries.
True.
So let's just get that out of the way.
Sure.
If we were allowed to pick the Ray, we would pick the Ray. We would tell you to pick the Ray up, but as we've been told before on the comments of this video, because it's a miniseries, Nug would never pick that. So I guess I'm not allowed, but the Ray is definitely a pickup this week.
And the thing is, the Ray is actually better than a lot of books out there right now.
Very true.
So pick up the Ray number 2.
For sure.
I agree 100% with this. Resurrection Man number 5.
Great book.
Great book.
Definitely a pickup.
Pick it up. I'm going to go with Batwoman number 5 here. Another great book. Pick it up.
Very much so.
Okay, so this is where it gets tough.
It gets tough because
now we're gonna have to whittle it down. Let's go Frankenstein, Agent of Shade.
Yeah, it was so much fun to
book.
read the flip side of the OMAC fight from last month.
And
week.
I will go with Green Lantern number 5.
Okay.
Also a great book.
All right.
And Batman Robin #5, once again, a great
And
book.
you got one more.
And wow, I don't know. Okay, what's left, guys, is Legion Lost #5 and Demon Knights #5. And I usually pick Demon Knights all the time as opposed to Legion. I've never actually put a Legion book in my books of the week.
So why don't you?
So I am.
Yeah!
New Year, Legion Lost #5 is in my books of the
And
week.
I'll put Demon Knights in, because then we give the
Perfect.
7 books that we love,
Yeah.
plus the one miniseries the love that's due. So your book of the week?
My book of the week, every time it's been out, has been Batman and Robin.
That's correct.
And #5 is a great book, but I feel that because you know how I feel about it, you're going to pick it up anyway. So I'm actually not going to put it in my book of the week this week. Shocker, right? And I'm going to put Resurrection Man #5.
Wow.
I really like this issue. I recommend it because I want you guys to read other things, and I really enjoyed this book.
See, and that's tough for me, because so often, I'm going to follow your lead, I really liked Resurrection Man, but so often I will put Frankenstein up there. And again, it's probably like your Batman and Robin. I will always put Frankenstein up there on the top. Demon Knights also is a book that I would put in the top. It's going to be tough to pick either one of those two, so I'm going to change it up. And I think I'm going to put Batwoman up there.
There you go.
Again, these are all great books. If we
Yeah.
have to, it's hard to pick our favorite of these. The Ray, again, excellent.
Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment. We do this every week. And thanks for the Silver Snail for having us. Come on in. Open up your wallets. Buy the books because they're great.
They are excellent books.
So this week, don't forget Batman and Robin, Resurrection Man, Frankenstein,
Demon
Batwoman,
Knights,
Demon
Green
Knights.
Lantern,
Great
Batwoman,
week.
The Ray. Just a lot of fun this
Guys,
week.
Go
Look at-
Patriots.
Look at what? Go Packers! Oh, we're gonna fight.